Gary Garcia here. Today we'll be joining the client domain. What before I do anything with the client, I just want to show you something here on the server side. We'll go to machine and settings. Now, what you need to do to make sure that you have the compatibility between the client or the connection, more rather, between the client and the server is that you have to make sure that your network adapters are the same. So here we will click on network and I already have it set to bridge adapter. Now you could choose between a bridge adapter or internal network. What Either between both of them in the bridge adapter with the promiscuous mode you would allow all. It will be set on deny, but you'll click on allow all. Now what you need to make sure is that on the other side where the client is, where you go to the settings and the network as well, it must be the same as the server. This way you will make sure that they will have a connection between the both of them, right? So you can see there's the same thing here. As I said, either the bridge adapter or internal network. I chose bridge adapter, and make sure on your promiscuous, as well as you should make sure that your firewall has been disabled on both of them. This could hamper the connection between the sorry here between both of the client and the server. So I'll just show that my firewall is off here, as well as on the side of the server here as well. Right. So in the previous videos, we set up a static IP for your server, and I'll just take a look at it here, just to remind you of what it was. And the static IP here, we'll go to properties. This is our IP address, 192.168.1.1. Now you're going to do the same thing for the client. Click on properties. Let's continue. Now, just a side note, Windows Vista is a very compatible client to run with this Windows Server 2008. We're not going to use the version 6, we're clicking on version 4. Now you're going to not obtain an IP address automatically, but you're rather more going to use one. And since we already had one before for this server, we're going to type make this a client 192.168.1, and we can add, let's say, 5 as it. The subnet mask was there. Now your default gateway is going to be the IP address of your server. 168.1.1, and your preferred DNS server is also going to be the IP address of your server as well. Okay, I'll just click out on both of them now. Concerning the client, we're going to we're going to we just click on home. We're going to add it to a domain. Now we're going to go here, which is, I'll just show you from the start. To my computer and go to C drive and just click on properties. Here we go to change settings. Let's widen this so you can see, and continue. Just minimizing this. Now we're going to add it to a domain. Now the domain of the server, which you would see here, so in Go to computer and properties. The name of the server is this, which we created. The domain, sorry, is sansiro.com. Now, whatever the name is what you're going to be typing across here. So we'll type in sansiro.com and press enter. Now it's going to prompt you for the a username and password, which is going to be administrator, and the password is what you had for. This is what you had on your server. Alright, we're just going to make sure that it goes through the credentials are correct, the authentication, and voila, we have it. Welcome to sansiro.com. For us to restart. To show that the client is showing up on the server, we'll just go to administrative tools and go to Active Directory users and controls. Now if you click on computers, you would see that Pato PC, which is the client across here, is showing on the server. So that means that it has been added to the domain. We are just going to create a user, so you click on user and new user. Right, we can name it anything. Alex Pat, last name Pato, login name the same, Alex Pato. Right, we'll click next. Create a password for it, which will be anything you want to name it. Alright, just for this exercise, now you could, when you're using in the corporate environment, you could have these here switch where you could have the password never expires. All these are different options, but just for this training exercise, we'll just take it off and click next. Alright, so we see the new user here. So now that our client has reboot, we would just log in now. Alright, now we're going to switch the user. Type in here with the new user the name of the domain, which is sansiro, backslash. No, you don't have to put in the .com. In fact, you're not going to put in the .com. And the user which you created, which is Alex Pato, and the password that you have for it as well. And that is adding the user profile to the client. And now the account is made in the domain. Okay, so I just want to show one thing, which is really with the command prompt to show the communication between the client and the server. We will just ping and type in the IP address of the server, and here we see a reply from it. So it shows that as well. We could do on the same side of the server and ping the IP address of the client to show the connection that they're talking to each other. Okay, now, the reason why I'm getting the problem here, the request timeout, is that I need to go to network. Right, I've done allow network sharing just to turn it on. Alright, you would need to give it administrative privileges because this is just a client on the domain. In order for it to be seen. Alright, we can just ping it here again. sorry, dot 1, dot 5, and just as I told you, it will work here. If we go to network on this side, we see it, the PC, Pato PC, are being joined to the domain of sansero.com, and that is how you join a client to a domain.